I don't have the idea that someday I'm going to take my pack and walk away, really, no. This part of me would like to do something like that. When I was on the Yukon River, I met this old man that was drifting down the river, and he was probably in his 80s, and it was almost like he was getting free of his life and the world and so on, so that he could end his life in a dignified way or something. And that always intrigued me, that old man had the courage to do that, because a lot of people have looked for the comfort of being cared for and all this, and but he was doing what I thought was heroic. Yeah. So I don't know if that'll ever affect me in my old age or not. Hopefully it will. Working from the heart and working with a sense of freedom is, you gotta have the balance, eh? You have to have the discipline to get up in the morning, and you have to put up with discomfort and all this stuff, and then you have to see what you're doing as being fairly important, eh? And maybe a part of your survival, and then you can do what I do. You know, when I started farming first, I wasn't. I was mainly just in the survival mode, seeing if I could do it, eh? And it was kind of a lonely life, because there wasn't very many people doing it. Like, people would be mystified by why I was working so hard for so little. You know, like I wasn't really super aware of why I was doing it. It was just something that was in me, and I was unhappy with the way I was making a living. It was so meaningless, and I've always liked being on the land and doing gardening and so on. So I decided that I'm going to try and make a living at this. Yeah, the whole picture of working horses, it takes a lot of care and devotion or whatever. You know, that you have to. First of all, you have to take care of your animals, and when you say "whoa," it doesn't mean you have a handbrake or an emergency brake on, and it's you have to pay way more attention. You can't just drift off. It takes quite a lot of focus to make it work well for you, and not everybody can do it. And you have to be careful of not getting upset and angry and all this. And it's physically demanding. And I'm an old man, and I suppose if I had spent the last 20-some years sitting on a tractor, I wouldn't be as strong as I am today. Like I worked in mines and logging and all that, and it's brutal hard work. You know, it drains you. You know, and I can go and work in the field, and it actually makes me feel stronger. I think it could be just a physical thing of being on the ground. You're preoccupied with other stuff rather than yourself. If I take a day off, that's probably the worst thing for me, because then I get to think. I do too much of it already. The ideas I have in the process of working are positive, but when I start sitting, then pretty soon, after about 2 days, I'm just waiting for the sky to fall. For me, action is a difficult thing, but it's also really necessary. I don't remember having second thoughts about this place for some reason. I was right from the start. I was committed, and then when it become a challenge, then I'm a very stubborn by nature, and then I'll see who's going to win this. That was my attitude, and if I'm going to leave, I'm not going to leave easy. That was been my attitude, and still is, yeah. And before I come here, I was a traveller. But when I come up here and I watch the sun rise and set, and I all of a sudden I got in touch with the movements of the stars and the moon in out of one place, all that, and it oriented me towards this place. Even though it took me a long time to really feel at home here, because I didn't want to get too attached to the place, and I didn't know who was going to, how it was going to go. I never did. I still don't. But I feel more comfortable now that at this age in my life that I'm not so concerned about the outcome,